Hey, FlimsyLunchTray here, and welcome to World of Warships for our Friday edition video. I have had friends, or a friend from the US, and last several busy days, and I don't really have a ship ready to just feature today. I mean, I could pick one out that I've played maybe for a while that I haven't featured yet. But instead, what we're going to do today is I'm going to go over a dev blog that just came out yesterday. It's on the next Salvage for Victory, will be the second one in the game, coming in update 12.11. And this has the community going, which for reasons we'll get into. So probably better to talk about what is looking to come sooner rather than later, and I'll give you my thoughts on this, so on and so forth. So read on to learn about Salvage for Victory and update 12.11. And its rewards that include new ships, Ellie, Francisco, Ferruccio, and Defense, as well as the legendary Kitakami. After many moons, Kitakami will finally make her return. She's been in the game before, but they've had this really long process in bringing her back into the game. And we faced some rough waters on the way to seeing this unique ship on the high seas, which led us to choosing a unique distribution method for her. We'll use the mechanic of the Salvage for Victory event that we tested in update 12.9 as a way to obtain the tier 8 champagne. So if you're kind of like, wait, what is that? It was this event here where you're able to pick up the champagne, right? So you had these stages, or you had technically 4 stages where you could pick up a permanent camouflage, the bonus package, champagne, and flag for champagne, and you had to use these different resources. So I did a video on this. What did I call it? I called it WarGaming Concerning. We want your resources. Okay, so then you had to give a different, you could allocate different amounts of resources. So you could see you could utilize 100% of doubloons to whale the whole thing, or you could only use up to a specific amount of premium, research points, elite commander XP, coal, and credits. Okay. So we designed this event around the theme of cruisers to provide players with the opportunity to unlock new exclusive ships for coal, steel, and research points. So it looks like they've limited, but again, we'll talk a little bit more about that. There'll be no limits on the usage of any of these resources. Additionally, you'll be able to use some of your World of Warships premium time to complete up to 16 stages of this event at any point. So you can only use coal, steel, and research points, which you can completely whale all the way through. And you can also use your World of Warships premium time to complete 16 stages of what's actually in total 100 stages, or 80 stages to get the Kitakami, and we'll look at that here in just a moment. Please keep in mind that due to the unique nature of Kitakami's gameplay and status, we're reintroducing her primarily with our long-term players in mind, who collect ships and already accumulated a large amount of resources in the game. Truly avid collectors can complete an extra 20 stages to obtain the camouflage for Kitakami and memorable flags for all 4 ships included in the event. Okay, so this is... I don't know. There's different ways to think about this. When they say introducing to our long-term players in mind, you know, so that immediately puts out the new players, unless you whale hardcore for it, which would cost you, some estimates say easily over $1,000 or $1,500 US dollars or more. So they're targeting the long-term, or quote-unquote veteran players. I would argue they're targeting the whales, not just veteran players in the game who've accumulated vast amounts of resources. Because I've been playing World of Warships for 4 years, and I can barely pick up Kitakami. Like, I could pick up Kitakami. I couldn't do the 100 stages. I could do the 80 stages, but it would wipe me out of pretty much everything I have. Where there's other players, a very small percentage, players in this, I don't know, like a couple percent, that have vast amounts of resources of the coal, steel, and research points. Okay, so let's continue on. I'll talk more about that. The event will start on the second week of updates 12.11. So if I think we have about a month and a half, like 5-6 weeks into this. It'll come to an end with the release of update 13.1. 13.1. So this will actually be in for 2 months, essentially, 2 updates, because it'll go to 13 after 12.11 and then 13.1. I'll end with the release of update 13.1. Okay, so all of 12.11 and all of 13.0, you will be able to access this. So they're giving you time for the snowflakes. So when you play different ships in the game, you'll get coal for, or you get steel for, as an example. So they're special, essentially targeting the Christmas season specifically. We're releasing Kitakami for one of those reasons. Okay, I'm also going to argue something else. Event rewards. So 4 Santa big gift containers will be your reward at 3rd stage. Santa's big gift containers will have a wealth of prizes. You can find more information about their composition in the following dev blog. At the 8th stage, you will pick up the European premium cruiser, the Eli? Not entirely sure. Okay. So, and then this ship is armed with 8 152mm guns, have excellent range in firing ballistics. She can rapidly redeploy and hold range with a high maximum speed of 37.7 knots. Should Ellie need to close the distance, each side boasts 3 fast-moving torpedoes along with spaced armor to protect her citadel. Yeah, I'm not sure much how it will protect you at tier 7, but whatever. Her consumables are Hydroacoustic Search, Defensive A in different slots. And then at the 16th stage, you will unlock the premium Italian cruiser, the Francesco Ferruccio. This ship is armed with 8 152mm main battery guns with great firing range and an aft-end battery turret that can rotate 360 degrees. She has access to HE and SAP shells with flat ballistics, which allow for steady, long-range striking with her lower damage per minute. So that's interesting. I feel like that's just WarGaming really trying to spice it up to make the ship sound appealing. The semi-armor piercing shells in particular have exceptional ricochet angles, which make them a highly reliable damage-dealing tool. So they're definitely trying to buff. I think it's greater than the Venezia's ricochet angles. So meaning more damage output, but again, you're getting 8 152mm guns at tier 7. Additionally, she's equipped with 2 quadruple tube torpedo launchers that, while having a slower speed, make up for it with low detectability in a range of 13.5 kilometers. So probably like 60 knot torpedoes, I'm guessing somewhere around there. Maybe even slower. The ship's weaker armor and health pull are offset by high speed and good maneuverability, as well as excellent concealment. She has access to the exhaust smoke generator and can choose between fighter or spotting aircraft. So, yeah, okay. Interesting. I mean, if you're going to have these improved, there's exceptional ricochet angles, then that might actually make this Italian ship more worthwhile versus if not having. And then at the 40th stage, you will be rewarded with the tier 10 British cruiser, heavy cruiser, the Defense. Okay, so I've seen this around a little bit in what Warships, and I've been playing randoms by testers and stuff. But she kind of reminds you of Nelson a little bit when you look at her. But she's armed with 6 356mm main battery guns located on the bow of the ship, which deal powerful damage per shell. I'll talk more about that here in a minute. Her British HE shells have high penetration and fire chance, pretty typical of British cruisers and British HE in general. While the AP shells have improved ricochet angles, the large caliber main battery guns are a threat to be reckoned with, despite their lower damage per minute. Defense is also armed with 8 torpedo tubes, distributed evenly on either side of the bow with wide launching angles. Her consumables are repair party, hydroacoustic search, and short burst smoke generator in different slots. And they'll have a permanent camouflage for her in the future. Okay, so if I pull up the calculator here. So basically the issue though that the Defense has is what she cannot penetrate. Oops, I totally did that wrong. Divided by 14.3. So 14.3 is, it's the, I don't know how to say that. You divide the shell by that number, and that's the armor thickness it can penetrate, right? So with these 356mm guns, you can't penetrate anything with 25mm armor or above. Okay, and a lot of tier 10 cruisers in the game, even light cruisers, have 25mm armor or greater. Now there are of course super light cruisers that have something like the Kitakami, which I think will be, I was looking at it over here, I think it was like 16, right? So then of course you can penetrate with this. But yeah, so you're only pinning 24mm and you only have 6 guns. And it says lower rate of fire, damage per minute. So I feel like this is mostly probably be effective against cruisers. Kind of what this ship is revolved around. Kind of makes me almost think this ship's kind of like a battle cruiser. But probably struggle against destroyers, and I don't know how she'll handle against enemy battleships in the game. Then you have Kitakami, which will be reward at the 80th stage. So let's see, I think I pulled up an even closer image of Kitakami here. So Kitakami, what makes her so special is her massive torpedo threat that she has. She's got 20 torpedoes per side. This is just one side, okay? These are racks of 4. So I have 5 racks per side, so 10 racks in total, 4 torpedoes per rack. So 20 torpedoes over here, and then on the flip side, another 20 torpedoes. And she just has 4 turrets, if I'm not mistaken. So I think it's actually all up here on the front, and then your depth charges on the back of the ship. Let's see. The legends are true. Kitakami enters World of Warships with a fearsome capability of launching heavy torpedo salvos, albeit with a very fragile hull, which I just showed you, 16mm pretty much everywhere. Each side is equipped with 5 quadruple tube torpedo launchers that are loaded one at a time. Reload times are slow, so players can elect to launch torpedoes as they become available, or to amass them over time to unleash a mighty wave of destruction. Fast, lower damage 12km torpedoes are available, as well as the hard-hitting 20km deep water torpedoes, similar to those of a Sashio. So that's kind of interesting. So you get your standard torpedoes and you get deep water torpedoes, depending on which you want to utilize. Take care to keep Kitakami hidden with her low detection range and smoke generator, because a small health pool and very exposed citadel can lead to her fast demise if positioned too aggressively. She comes equipped with exhaust smoke generator, engine boost, and repair party. A unique and stylish Kitakami permanent camouflage and memorable flags for each of the above ships will be a bonus reward at the 100th stage. The permanent camouflage for Kitakami will only be available as a part of the Salvage for Victory event, so be sure to earn it while you can. The appearance of the permanent camouflage for Kitakami will be revealed in the future. Okay, so event information. Okay, this is where things are going to get spicy. Okay, so hang in there. The event has 100 stages in total, with each stage costing 2,400 research points, or 1,700 steel, or 19,000 coal, or 60 days of Warships premium time. Alright? So what they've done here is that they've given us this nice table and listing out the rewards. They give us the items, the amount of stages, research points, steel, coal. Now, this thing is kind of like, if you're not paying attention, it'll totally catch you off guard, because it caught me off guard when I was first trying to process all this. All costs are not cumulative. Okay, so when you go down here and you're looking at, for example, research points, steel, coal, right? They are added on. They're not cumulative. Okay, so basically, what do I mean by that? What do you mean by that, Flimsy? Okay, it's this here. So the first research points, 2,400, steel 1,700, coal 19,000. So what they've done here is that they've actually showed you how much it will cost. Okay, so actually maybe I need to make it small. So if I'm looking at Ellie, whatever, right, I'm like, oh, 7,200, oh, and then just 12,000. Okay, it's not quite like that. Or like, oh, then I only have to go to 19,200, 57,600, so on and so forth. Okay, you have to add all these together on top of each other. So actually, this tier 6 cruiser cost you 19,200 research points. Okay, not just 12,000, because these You have to add them together, right? So what they're showing you here is that defense alone costs you 96,000 research points, or 68,000 steel. Right here you're seeing 40,800, but it's because they're adding them all up on top of each other. Or with coal, it's going to cost you 760,000 coal for a tier 10 ship. Then you look at Kitakami. Kitakami research points is going to cost you 192,000 research points. Okay, that's pretty ridiculous as we go down here, right? So it's not 96,000. I have to add all these previous ones up, and it's 192,000. Steel, 136,000 steel. And then coal, it's going to cost you 1.5 million coal, right? So if you are a whale, I'm not even going to say so much a veteran player, but if you are a whale and you have a lot of these resources, then you can do it, right? You'd be spending 1.5 million coal to pick up essentially 4 ships, 2 which are tier 10s. Do I think it's worth it? They're kind of processing it because I was reading this dev blog last night and talking with some other people in Discord, and it's just like probably not, unless you're a whale, right? So I said, like, I can afford it if I have several, like, multiple resets I've stacked on the Shimakaze for research bureau points, and I haven't claimed them yet because I've just been stacking them. I have like 26,000 steel, I have over 130,000 coal, but I know I could easily get to 200,000 coal by the time this comes around. And then I have a lot of premium time. So it would wipe me out as a veteran player, 4 years playing the game. It would wipe me out of all my resources to pick up Kitakami. Do I think it's worth it? No. Even though I'm a veteran player, and I can get this, just because I can purchase it doesn't mean I should be purchasing it, right? Because, you know, even when you're looking in the armory, right? Basically, I can pick up a Sevastopol and Palio Emilio. I'm going to pull this back up. See, it says it's 192,000, right? So I can actually pick up a lot of ships, right? I can pick up, you know, I can go to town here. You know, I can pick up multiple Sevastopols over. I don't remember. I've had one of my. I think if I remember his name correctly, Toxic Symphony, and I'll go back to the dev blog. He did some mathematics on it, and I'm trying to go to my server, which is my phone's being really weird right now. Let's see. Here, and then I want to go to news updates. So basically, to get to Kitakami with the total amount it's going to cost you, you could pick up 3.3 Sevastopols, or you could pick up 4.1 FDRs, the Roosevelts, right, for steel, or 6.4 tier 10 coal destroyers. Yeah, that's like insane amount. It's an insane amount. Or if you assume someone's starting with all the ships, you can whale them for the expected values of about $1,500 worth of standard crates. Okay, that's a rough estimation. So even though I did this video not too long ago, WarGaming, we want your resources. It's kind of like crossing it out and saying we want the whales resources, because this is just really expensive. Now the kicker is when you read the rest of this dev blog, it says is this. To provide you with as much transparency as possible, we're going to inform you about when you can expect to see the content of this event become available again at the earliest in the future. Kitakami will not be distributed in any other way for the next 2 years in-game after the end of this event. Besides, as a mystery reward for the Grand Admiral's edition of our Naval Legends Cruisers campaign that was sold out already and is to be delivered May of 2024. We currently have no announced plans for her future distribution, but we will inform you about the topic when the time comes. Yada yada yada. Okay, so 2 years. So what does this mean? There's a phrase I'm forgetting right now off the top of my head, but it's the the fear of being left out, right? So that means you would not be able to get Kitakami again until, let's see, it's 2023 now, till the end of 2025, beginning of 2026, roughly, somewhere in there. So 2025, 2026, right? So it's the fear of missing out, and so. I mean, yes, this is a devlog. It's a closed test. Nice of WarGaming to tell us how much they want to reach through the screen. Well, almost into your wallet if you are spending cash and picking up these resources. But it is possible to whale these even as a new player, right? So then I could go into my game. And if I want to whale more research bureau points, which again, let's say I have a lot more, a lot of them are sitting on Shimakaze right now, yet to be claimed. You know, I could use doubloons, purchase a lot of doubloons, and I can convert experience I have on ships into free XP, and then use free XP to regrind the Harugumo line, that's the cheapest line in the game, repeatedly to get the amount of research bureau points I would need to pick up Kitakami, right? So even if you're a new player, it's pretty much you could still do this if you whale like an insane amount of money for it, or you spent over $1,500 roughly on the Santa containers, Santa crates, to be able to pick up, get enough steel, get enough coal, get enough of the research points. Okay, so it's pretty outlandish, but it's a lot. It is, I mean, it is just so much to wrap your head around that. Yeah, a tier 10 ship worth 192,000 research points, or 136,000 steel, or 1.5 billion coal. Not to mention, if you actually want to go and pick up the Kitakami with camo and the other rewards for 240,000 research bureau points, 170,000 steel, or 1.9 million coal. It's just rather ridiculous. So, okay, yeah, WarGaming, you're thinking of the long-term players, which, I mean, there are some long-term players who've played the game even longer than I have, and probably they can even afford this event, depending on how much they're playing the game and if they're actually spending money on, like, the battle pass and all that type of stuff. Yeah, so it is, let me know your thoughts. I'm very much interested to know your thoughts on this development blog, on what it would look like to go from something like this, right? So the first salvage victory they had, they tested it out on us and stuff. Research bureau points is essentially the cheapest way for the last salvage for victory, because you're pretty much utilizing free experience that you've earned if you've been playing the game for a long time. And even for the current salvage for victory, research bureau points are the cheapest of these resources to utilize, again, if you have plenty. But it's yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't think it's worth it. Like, I mean, to spend that amount of resources when there's still other steel ships, coal ships, and research bureau point ships that I don't have, that I really want to pick up, you know, like Slava, Polio Emilio, you know, just thinking of those research point ships and the research bureau off the top of my head in Armory. So yeah, so let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm going to drag this video to a close. So if you liked today's video, give a thumbs up. If you didn't, give a thumbs down. Subscribe if you do want to see more. If you're subscribed, thanks so much, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.